Don't tell lies. This is one that people often get kind of wrong. There's a lot of accusations that people throw out sometimes, calling this person a liar, that person a liar, this person dishonest, this person being not very transparent and stuff. But I try and make the rule of don't tell lies. Why in particular? Why not just say always tell the truth? And it's simply for the fact that a lot of the time you don't know what the truth is. So when people say always tell the truth, the problem with that is somebody could be just have the wrong knowledge, right? So they're making their case, they're bringing it forward. It's also known as like confabulation sometimes, presenting something that you believe to be true that is factually like inaccurate. So people just being unaware and not having the actual accurate information to hand or the relevant experience, they're presenting what they believe to be true, and it just not being the case. It's just totally inaccurate. So why phrase it don't tell lies? Because it's very obvious, like, we all have physiological and psychological like triggers around lying. That's why although lie detectors are obviously not as like black and white as people sort of make them out to be and stuff, they do work in scenarios and stuff when done properly. It's a bit of a misnomer that they don't work at all. People do have physical reactions when they lie about things, and yourself when you lie, when you do tell a lie. It's the difference between trying to bring something like honestly and like openly and thinking that you're telling the truth, that you have the right information, versus the act and trying to deceive, like an intentional effort to deceive. So that's kind of the main difference. So don't tell lies because you are actively trying to deceive in some way. And it's really bad on not just on the surface, but in terms of like in the long run, to tell lies. If in the short term it could work out for your benefit, but I think most people know in the long run it doesn't really work out, and it just leads to more drastic and more exaggerated consequences further down the line. One of my kind of rules to live by is like don't tell lies. It's also the I guess the mental aspect of it as well, of running through the lie and then kind of having to live with it afterwards. It isn't pleasant in the slightest, and I don't think anybody enjoys, apart from maybe sociopaths and and whatnot, living up a lie long term. So that's it. That's what I would say on that one. It's don't tell lies. When you've told a lie. You can feel it in your body, in your soul, in your mind. Try to avoid it. Thanks for watching.